Hello, mathematicians. It's Miss Armgart. Welcome to another instructional video. We're going to evaluate variables and substitute. So first, let's look at what is a variable. Well, it's just any letter that stands for a number. So for example, area is length times width. That's a lot to write out. It's way easier to say A for area, L for length, and W for width. So how do we use this? How do we substitute? So let's see. We have example 1. We have G plus F. I am going to rewrite that nice and big. Now, we are given our values here. So we know that G is 3, and we know that F is 5. Now, you'll notice I used parentheses when I added my numbers. So I put brackets, I put the parentheses around them. That is so that I don't accidentally, when we get more complicated things, write the wrong thing. So first, let's solve 3 plus 5 is 8. So this was a simple one. We just had G and F. So in example 2, you'll see it says 4G plus P. So when we see the 4 out here, that is our coefficient, our constant. That doesn't change. So when we substitute and rewrite, we know G is 3. This is where the parentheses come in handy because I don't want to accidentally write this as 43 because it's 4 times 3 plus P, which is 5. So we want to make sure we're not writing 43. So now we just use our order of operations. We know that multiplication is a 2 and addition is a 1. So we simply do 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 5 will give you 17. That's our answer. Let's look at one last case. So we are doing perimeter here. The perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So let's do it as our substitution. Perimeter is the same as 2 times our length, which is 1, plus 2 times our width, which is 3. Again, those parentheses, so I don't actually accidentally think this is 21 plus 23, because that's not what it is. It's 2 times 1 plus 2 times 3. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video, solve the second one. 5 is length, 4 is width. When you come back, the solution will be up. All right, here is the solution. Do not forget to write your levels. Make sure, folks, that you have included the levels, and here are the step-by-steps. Pause the video if you need to look at it closely. We are going to move on to how to evaluate a different formula. So, a car was driving on snow. It skidded and left the mark of 19 feet. How fast was the car driving? Well, here you go. We have the algorithm, the steps to fill this out. Number 1, write the formula down. Well, we know that speed is equal to the square root of 30 df. And we know d is the distance and f is the drag factor. So let's scroll on over. So we know the drag factor of snow is 0.33. I pulled this handy dandy table from our mid-school math problem. And the skid, we know, was 19 feet. That's what it says up here, 19 feet and snow. So 19 feet, FT. Now we need to figure out the speed. We have the square root of 30. We know D is 19. And we know F is 0.33. And again, those parentheses, so you don't think that's all one big number. And all we have to do now is evaluate our equation. We know multiplication is a level 2. Multiplication is a level 2, which means all we have to do is multiply these together and find the square root. I plug this into my calculator. 30 times 19 is 570 times 0.33 gives you the square root of 188 0.1. We put that into our calculator, and we get a number. So we get 13.71. So I'm going to round 71 to 7. So the speed of the car was 13.7 miles per hour. So to review, if you are stuck on how to do substitution, right here is exactly what we did. We plugged the values in, we used order of operations to simplify, and we wrote a sentence for the answer. All that's left, folks, is to fill in your examples for the vocabulary. I am Miss Armgart saying happy math.